ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। सर्वोपप्लवरहितः प्रज्ञानघनः प्रत्यगर्थो ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि। ओम शांति शांति शांति। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। In the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, there is a verse which says, Vedaisya sarvairahameva vedyah Vedanta krut veda videvacha. Sarvaihi vedaihi ahameva vedyah. Through all the Vedas, through all teachings, ahameva vedya. What is to be known is me alone. In the essence of all the spiritual knowledge, the purpose of all spiritual teachings, Vedic teaching, is to know me, Bhagavan says. And we have seen that Bhagavan is not separate from I, the Jiva, as of now, individual. That means the essence of the entire teaching, Vedic teaching, is to discover or know the self. Which self? The self which is Satchidananda. The self which is Satyam Gnanam Anantam Brahma. The self which is the very substratum of the whole creation. The self from whom the creation is never away. Nothing is away from me, that self. That is the purpose. So when the Shruti says Dve Vidye Veditavye, one should study twofold knowledge. And it says clearly that Atha Parayaya Tadaksharam Adhigamyate. That is Paravidya, by which, through which you know the Aksharam Brahma. That means Moksha Vidya. Then what is the purpose of Paravidya or Aparavidya? To study. If the essence or the purpose of the entire teaching is to know Aksharam Brahma, to know myself, and that wisdom is imparted by Paravidya only, then what is the purpose of studying Aparavidya? And why should it be mentioned in the Vedas also? The Vedas, the essence of the Vedaihi Sarvaihi Ahameva Vedya. Through all Vedas, I alone is to be known. If that is the truth, then why should Veda talk about something other than Ishvara? Why should they mention anything about that? So the Veda should talk only Upanishad, Brahma Vidya, and nothing else. Whereas we find everything else is talked about. And Upanishad is very small little book, just 30-40 mantras here and there. That's all it is. Upanishad is very small part of it. Not even 1/5 or 1/10 of the total voluminous Vedic mantras in terms of quantity. The purpose is explained here as we saw yesterday. Paravidya is a knowledge, and every knowledge presupposes necessary qualifications. Unless you have a qualification, even if the Vidya is given, one may not discover the truth. One may not know what is being taught. You require certain basic qualifications. to become an IT engineer or something, software engineer, at least I should be proficient in using the keyboard. To be a web designer, I should have some sense of drawing. It is always required. In absence of which, knowledge shall not take place. That being the case, the Shruti mantra are meant to lead you to adhikaritva. The proper qualifications required for the knowledge. So, this is anuvada is done. Anuvada means restatement of what is said in the Vedas. And that is to lead to adhikaritva in the 13th mantra, where Bhagavan will talk. Parikshalokan karmachitan brahmano nirvedama. In nutshell, Bhagavan talks about the karma kanda, the purpose and the essence of it. Bhagavan talks about what are the karmas to be done, what all the efforts that goes into doing the karmas, and what the phala can be achieved through these karmas. What is the nature of that karma phala, and what is the return on my investment? I'm investing my life in terms of my time and resources in doing this karma. What do I get in return out of it? That also talked about. And therefore, pariksha lokan karmachitan brahmano nirvedam. Therefore, one should analyze that. And it is only to create vairagya that is being talked about. Most of you are studying Gita. These karmas are there with a given phala, but then you can have a different attitude while performing the karmas. Certain nitya karmas, kartavya karmas, and certain kamya karmas. Those karmas which are desire prompted actions. When we talk of vairagya, primarily the vairagya from desire prompted actions that is being emphasized or revealed first, not karma as such. And these karmas, when performed with certain attitude, it gives phalam of a totally different nature. When performed with a specific want, a desire or attitude of wanting to have something, karma will give the phalam any which way, whether you have this attitude or that attitude. But when it is performed as an offering to Ishvara, as a prayerful with a prayerful attitude, it does Duritakshaya. And the attitude is revealed in the Sankalpa itself. Mamopata samasta Duritakshaya dvara Shri Parameshwara Prityartha. Idam aham karishya. I am performing this for the priti, to please Ishvara. That attitude does two things. Nitya karma does two things. It neutralizes one's likes and dislikes. Also, it neutralizes some duritas, some papas, papa karmas that fructify daily, that matures, and that is being neutralized. Therefore, we have daily prayers. See, our life is like that books of account. That cash book, accountant will check today how many payments to be made, how many receipts to come. Every day he has to check, because he might have issued forward dated checks which are maturing today, and also might have received forward dated checks for the goods sold. So he has to manage. Therefore, they need overdraft or cash, some credit in the bank. So they will withdraw from the credit in case some extra checks are issued. So every day, credit and debit matures. You receive something and you have to give something. You can equate it with some punya and papa. Every day some punya matures, and every day some papa also matures. You may be having ground plus one floor house or apartment, whatever. And every day you might be going at least 5 to 7 times up and down. Living in that house for last 20 years. Imagine 20 years, 7 times a day. Each day, 365 into 20, 7,300 days multiplied by 7. So many times you have climbed the stairs. But today I missed one step. I missed it only today. That is Papa, maturation of Papa. That Papa matured and you had to have some pain and all kinds of things. Depending upon the gravity of Papam, the pain will come. You may end up having a fracture also. And you may end up having just a muscular pain. Depends on it. So also Punyas. It matures. That Papa is neutralized by Nitya Karma, Nitya prayers. So we always had some daily prayers. And when you do these karmas with the awareness of Ishvara, Ishvara Prityartha, because this karmas involves Ishvara. Karma Phal Dhata, Ishvara is always involved. So you have some awareness of Ishvara. When these karmas are performed in the awareness of Ishvara, you live a religious life. And only a religious person can have a spiritual life. To hold on to certain forms, certain prayers, certain do's and don'ts daily is a religious life. But that religious person alone can be spiritual, can have vairagya, and thereby he or she can become spiritual. That's the purpose of all these karmas. Okay? Karmas are to be performed until you discover the necessary vairagya, necessary frame of mind, which can assimilate the knowledge, assimilate the teaching. With this purpose in mind, teacher now proceeds further, talks about various mantras. Okay? Look at the first mantra. तदेतत् सत्यम, तदेतत् सत्यम, मंत्रेषु कर्माणि कवयो वदन्ति, मंत्रेषु कर्माणि कवयो वदन्ति, सॉरी, मंत्रेषु कर्माणि कवयो यान्यपश्यन्, मंत्रेषु कर्माणि कवयो यान्यपश्यन्, तानि त्रेतायां बहुधा सन्ततानि, तानि त्रेतायां बहुधा सन्ततानि, तान्याचरतः नियतं सत्यकामाः, तान्याचरथ नित्य नियतं सत्यकामाः, एषवः पन्थाः सुकृतस्य लोके, एषवः पन्थाः सुकृतस्य लोके, तदेतत् सत्यं, तदेतत् सत्यं, मन्त्रेषु कर्माणि कवयो यान्यपश्यन्, तानि त्रेतायां बहुधा सन्ततानि, मन्त्रेषु कर्माणि कवयो यान्यपश्यन्, तानि त्रेतायां बहुधा सन्ततानि, तान्याचरथ नियतं सत्यकामा, एषवः पन्था सुकृतस्य लोके, तान्याचरत नियतं सत्यकामा, एषवः पन्था सुकृतस्य लोके। Etat means this. Tadetat, this, what I am going to tell to you. Vakshamanam buddhistham, what is there in my mind, what I am going to reveal to you. I mean, teacher is recalling. Tadetat, that, this is that which I am going to tell that now. Satyam is definite, will definitely come, is certain, not truth, is not a translation, is certain. Who said what? Mantreshu karmani, all the karmas that are talked about in mantras. Okay? Mantreshu karmani, yani those karmas, yani apashyan, kavayaha apashyan, those mantras, all those karmas that were seen through mantras by kavis, by rishis, that is satyam, that is true, that is definite, that is certain. Okay? Tani acharatha niyatam satyakama. Here satyam is karma phalam. Satyakamaha. Kamaha means desirous of. Satyam. You are those or who are desirous of karma phalas, desirous of results of certain actions. Tani acharatha. May you perform them. And Eshavav Pantha, this is the Pantha, this is the road for you all. Sukrutasya loke. Sukrutasya means loke, for some Urdhva loka. This is the Pantha, Marga, this is the road to gain some Urdhva loka. To go to those lokas where you can have Sukham, Vishaya Sukham. Okay? So, as we said, to make us live a religious life, thereby we may develop necessary qualifications for Paravidya, Moksha Jnanam. Rishi says, perform those karmas. And each karma has a phalam. You know, it is a carrot before the cart, lollipop chapter. If you do this, you will get this. If you do this, you will be benefited out of this. You will have this kind of pleasures, etc. That is being talked here. And this talking is, is, is like the tourism brochure. You know, every city has a brochure about the places to visit. When I saw my Rajkot's tourism brochure, you know, means the government, I said, do I live in the same city? I was wondering, am I living here? Sometimes you wonder, there are photographs and the angle and the timing, and it's so well done, and placing and writing is so nice that you yourself sometimes tell, "Okay, let us visit this place." Then you understand, oh, I'm living here only, in this city only. All those description in a modern jargon, motivational language is being told to motivate you to want to go to those lokas, thereby to motivate the person to perform those karmas. One is motivated, and when you perform those karmas, all the Vedic karmas, as you can perform only in the awareness of Ishvara. In all Vedic karmas, there is always Ishvara involved. And when you involve Ishvara in your day-to-day life, that means you are living a religious life. So it is meant to make one a religious person. Okay, what? Dot tadetar. This is what that I am going to reveal, unfold, is Satyam. The word Satyam here is used for both, for karma as well as karma phala. It is Satyam because definitely, certainly, it is a means for that particular desired end. What you want to achieve, this is the main, this is the means, you know. Ekanta Purusha Sadhanatvat, Shankaracharya says. This is a means for moksha, and moksha is Satyam, Atma is Satyam. Since the end is Satyam, means is also sometimes called Satyam. Like our typical example, you know, Gujarat. If you go to railway station, there is a Gujarat mail train coming from Bombay. These coolies tell Gujarat, has Gujarat arrived? Has Gujarat left? Gujarat is not arriving and Gujarat is not leaving. The train going to Gujarat and coming from Gujarat is called Gujarat. They don't say even Gujarat Mail. They don't even say Gujarat Express. There are two trains, Gujarat Express and Gujarat Mail. Has Gujarat Mail come? No, they will not say Gujarat Mail aayo em nahi ke. Gujarat aayo, they say typically. You know? By the way, today is a day when this state was carved out of that greater Mumbai state. 1st May is a Gujarat day, by the way. That's how this example is coming here. Anyway, so this karma, Vedic karmas, I'm not talking of Laukik karmas. This Vedic karmas involves Ishvara. Since there is Ishvara involved, you live a religious life in awareness of Ishvara. That awareness will lead you to necessary qualifications, adhikaritvam. And that adhikaritvam will lead you to moksha marga. And moksha marga means seeking a teacher and seeking knowledge and shastra and things like that. And that will lead you to moksha. Therefore, the first step is also called Satya. Purushartha sadhanatva. Ekanta Purushartha sadhanatvat Satyam. That is one meaning. Another meaning is Karma is satyam. It will definitely bring out its result. Okay? Tadetat satyam. Uh, means what? It will, that karma will certainly produce result. There is no nishkam karma. Okay? I don't want result, whether you want it or not. Result will come. It is inbuilt in the action itself. While performing your action itself, the result is unfolding. Like even when I drop the ball from this height to the floor, the result is inbuilt. The velocity will be decided by the volume of the ball, volume and the weight and the size and all that. And according to velocity, it will hit the floor. And depending upon the nature of the floor, it will rebound. All that is inbuilt. There is a vakya in a shastra. Na bhuktam kshiyate karma kalpa koti shataihi api. Avasyam anubhoktavyam karmana phalam sukha dukham. Karmana phalam avasyam anubhoktavyam. You have to experience the karma phala. It will come kalpa koti shataihi. Koti billions and hundreds of kalpas pass by, result will come. It is satyam. Tadetat satyam. Okay. Now, avasyam bhavitvat satyam. So you cannot disown the karma phala. People say, typical Indian thinking, I work without expecting any result. I don't want any karma phala. Whether you want it or not, as long as there is a doership, sense of being a doer, you will have the phala. You cannot escape the karma phala. I do karma, no, I don't want phalam. Phalam can go to somebody. It can never happen. This karma phala will certainly come, you know. And therefore it is said, satyam avasyam bhavitvat. What? Yani karmani. What is the satyam? Those karmas and karma phalas which kavayaha apashyan. Kavis saw. And tani tretayam bahuda santata. And those karmas are elaborated in the three. Let us see this much. Kavayaha apashyan. They saw. Simple meaning is Kavayaha means Rishi. Kavi means Medhavi. Dirghadrashta, who sees something far and beyond. That's a Kavi. This Kavi word, or you can say Kavi is a one who sees more than it meets with your eyes. Meaning thereby, Atindriya Gnanavan, Kavi. Kavi knows something which is beyond the comprehension of human intellect and beyond the perception of human sense organs. That is a Kavi. Okay. Beyond the mortal eyes. In Gita Ji and in Upanishad also, Bhagavan is also Kavi, called Kavi. Because he sees something more. Kavim Puranam Anushashitaram Anoraniyam. There is a mantra there. Bhagavan is called Kavihi, the one who sees something beyond. The rishis, though there are names sometimes available, that this particular mantra is given to us, humanity, by such and such a rishi. Like our most common and famous example I can give, Gayatri mantra is revealed to humanity, is given to us by Vishwamitra. Vishwamitra did not write this. They did not create mantra. There is a saying, rishis are what? Mantra drashtaraha natu mantra kartaraha. They have not created mantras, they just saw this mantra. Seeing is cognitive, not physically. The eye see this mantra. It doesn't happen that way. If you open the eyes and you don't see mantras floating in the space, that is not true. Seeing, you can say the mantras were revealed to the rishis. The rishis lived a life of austerity, so much of tapas, and so much of prayer. So austerious and prayerful life was a reason for them being qualified as though, for them being the medium as though for Bhagavan to reveal certain mantras through their intellect. In those moments, they were so identified with Ishvara. You can say momentarily the individuality was dissolved, which happens with any knowledge. When you are too focused, too committed, suppose a research person, and thinking of all the time about the subject, that commitment or that focused efforts brings to a point where you just lose your self-identity. You're so identified with the research, you're so identified with the knowledge, the individuality stands dissolved momentarily. In those moments, when the rishis' individuality, ahankara, was as though dissolved with Ishvara, in Ishvara, in those moments, the mantras were revealed to the rishis by Bhagavan. Through tapas and prayerful life, their hearts were so pure, like a crystal, like a Mansarovar. Water is so pure. With that crystal pure hearts and total devotion to Ishvara, certain mantras were revealed to rishis by Bhagavan. Kavayaha yani apashyan. They saw. Therefore, it is called seeing. We say also in English, oh, I see now. See means now I understand. Similarly, they saw the mantras and their karma phalas. Karma and karma phalas both were seen by them. They were seeing means they were revealed to them by Ishvara. Because what is being seen or what is being talked in Vedas is beyond the comprehension of human intellect. It's atindriya gnanam, beyond human perception. Since it is atindriya gnanam, it was revealed to them, not that they saw. You can say Newton saw the law of gravitation. In a way, yes. He was so absorbed in the research. I think Archimedes is a better example. Archimedes, he was so absorbed in it, he forgot, he lost his identity. Self identity was lost. Momentarily, the ego, the individuality was dissolved in the research. Momentarily. So he even didn't remember whether he is wearing something or not, or where is he, how is he, what is he doing. Just ran. Eureka, eureka. Dehatma buddhi abhava took place. In our Vedantic jargon, he didn't have Dehatma bhava. Deha Atma Amasmi, that bhava was lost. Then when the bhava, people looked at him with amusing eyes, that brought back the Dehatma bhava. And how he must have felt, that you have to imagine now. But then he was totally absorbed in it. But what he saw was something mundane, something which anyone else could have also figured out, and you can figure it out with common sense. But what is revealed in Vedas, what the rishis saw in Veda, is not something within the realm of human intellect. Therefore, apashyan, they saw. It was revealed. Now you may say, Swamiji, everybody says their book, religious book, was revealed. God revealed to him on such and such a mountain. The revelation came. Everybody says revelation. What's the difference, or what's the big deal about your revelation? And revelation is a little ambiguous word. So modern people also can pass by saying, God revealed to me this secret. I'm telling to you. One fellow wrote commentary on Bhagavad Gita. And he says it was a revelation from the God. Now that when you say revelation, it becomes non-verifiable belief. All these religions say there is a heaven, commandments were revealed, heaven was revealed, that thou shalt not do this, thou shalt do this was revealed to us. That's fine. There is a basic difference between that revelation and this revelation. That revelation is sort of a mysticism, sort of a non-verifiable belief. What is revealed is a belief. Whereas here, what is revealed is knowledge. It is verifiable. Not only verifiable, it has been verified for generations and generations. That by Guru Shishya Parampara, every Guru taught this to his Shishya, what was revealed to the Rishis, the Upanishad, and what was seen or owned up by that Rishi who got revelation of Upanishad. The same truth is seen by my Guru, and same truth is revealed by my Guru to me, and I can and I am capable of seeing the same truth. So it's a knowledge. That revelation is non-verifiable set of beliefs. What is talked here is pure knowledge, and that knowledge is something to be verified by yourself. You can see through it. Law of gravitation. It is not that kind of revelation which is non-verifiable. You can doubt him, but it's verifiable. What he has said is. So, what the rishis saw is the knowledge which is verifiable and verified for generations and generations throughout millennia that went by. In all those millennia and centuries, they verified it. They said, yes, this is truth. Okay. So, Kavayaha Yani Apashyan. All that those Kavis saw, Rishis saw, is Satyam. All karmas are Satyam. Means it's a verifiable. Though it is a belief to begin with. By doing this karma, I may get that, and by doing that karma, I may get that. But then ultimately, it is to be seen, it is to be verified by myself. Okay? There are various karmas. There are simple karmas, as I mentioned to you. Some karmas to be done, kartavya karmas, and some kamya karmas. These are prompted actions and those actions which are duty prompted actions, you can say. And in those karmas, it is simple, very simple, just 2 oblations. Very common thing to be done by every grihastha is Agnihotra karma. Wherein, and Sandhya Vandanam karma. The 10 minutes it takes to offer water, argyam to Surya Devata, and then chant certain mantras and do Gayatri Japa and conclude. Sandhya Vandanam is to be done with water, therefore it is called Udaka Kriya. You need water for it. And Agnihotram is a ritual, you need fire. It's a fire ritual. That Udaka Kriya and Agni Kriya to be done daily. That Ashwamedha Yajna can become more complicated, complex, more demanding. Depends upon what you do. Later on we will see. But then simple karmas, Sandhya Vandan, Agnihotra, etc., to be done and not to be done are revealed by rishis. These karmas were revealed to Rishi. Satyam vada, dharmam chara, swadhyayan ma pramadaha, acharyaya priyam dhanamaratya prajatantum ma vyavachetsi, satyanna pramaditavyam, dharma, etc., etc., all injunctions were seen by rishis, told by rishis, revealed to the rishis by Bhagavan. And Tretayam Bahuda Santata. Treta generally, I mean, in a common man's mind, Treta means a yuga. Dwapar, Satya, Treta, and Kali. So, then if you take that meaning, the meaning would be Tretaya, in this yuga, these karmas are talked about in detail. No. Veda means these 3 Vedas, Ruk, Yajus, Sama, Vedeshu, Bahuda Santata. In Ruk Veda and Yajur Veda and Sam Veda, these karmas and karma phalas are talked about in detail. Vistirna. Santatani means Vistirna. Vistara Purvakam Kathitani. It has been said with all details. Okay. More so, more descriptions is in Krishna Yajurveda, in Yajurveda. Among the 3, Sama, Rigveda, Samveda, Rigveda, and Yajurveda. Or Ruk, Sama, Yajusa, Etyadi, Atharva. But then more elaborately talked about in Yajurveda. It happens to be. Okay. तानि आचरथ सत्यकाम तानि कर्माणि. So satyakamaha means karma phali. Satyam was karma. Satyam in the earlier line was karma phalam. Satyakamaha, desirous of satyam, desirous of karma phala. So if you are desirous of these karma phalas, then you must perform them. Tani tretayam bahuda, tani tretayam bahuda santatani, vistirnani, which has been elaborated, told in the three Vedas. But then satyakamaha, bhojanaha, for people who are desirous of this karma phala. Those who want to experience those divya lokas, heavenly lokas. Those who are desirous of heavenly pleasures. They have only one heaven, okay? When I say heaven means sapta loka, bhuhu, bhuvaha, suvaha, maha, janaha, tapaha and satyam. There are 4 lokas above heaven. So heaven is not the ultimate, which they claim. Going to heaven is ultimate thing. It is salvation. But we say going to heaven is just a tourism. You have to come back. Shine punye marte lokam vishan. That applies to all the lokas. We'll see later on. But then other fields of experiences, or you can say lokas above heaven, mahaha, janaha, tapaha, satyam, those fields of experiences have better sense objects, more capacities on my part to enjoy those sense organs. I mean, sense objects, capacity, resources, you can say. So, satyakamaha, those who are desirous of those karma fields. Tani acharatha, may you perform them. Those who are desirous of that result, may you do them niyatam, regularly. Niyatam acharatha satyakamaha. Tani acharatha akurutaha. In other words, this Rishi says, you perform those karmas. And the karma phalas talked about is satyam. And if you want those pleasures, perform the karma. What he says? Satyam also means Brahman. Satyam Gnanam Anantam Brahman. Here Satyam means, doesn't mean that Brahman. Satyam is purely karma phalam. Satyam kamayanti te satyakama. Those who are desirous of satyam mean that karma phala. Tani acharatha. May you perform that. And then, why should I perform them? You know, Esha Sukrutasya Loke. Sukrutasya Loke. Esha. This is the means for going to higher lokas. Okay? This is the means for achieving higher pleasures, sense organs and sensitivities and quality, etc. Therefore, you perform. That is one thing. Another thing, satyakamaha tani niyatam acharatha. May you perform or niyatam karma, nitya karmas daily. May you do your obligatory duties daily. It should be part of your existence. Satyakamaha. Therefore, he gets the title Satyakama. With the one who wants those karmas phalas, but not the one who saw this. So Rishi is not Satyakama. Jiva is Satyakama. He is referred as, O Satyakama Jiva. What he says? Eshaha pantha sukrutasya loke. These are the paths. This will lead you to Sukrutam. Sukruta loka means some divine fields of experiences. And therefore, you should perform. Okay? Thing is, if you want karma phala, you have to perform karma. Simply knowing karma and karma phala, this karma will give me this result. You will not get the results unless you literally perform the karma. So karma will bring the phalam, but knowing the karma itself will have no phalam. Therefore, Rishi says, Tani acharatha. If you are desirous of karma phala, if you are satyakamaha, then please perform this karma. Mere knowing will not help. As Swamiji would say, by reading a cookery book, you can't have a dish ready for yourself and husband and a spouse. I read the book. I was idli kamaha, idli kamin. I read the book, but no idli was there. To gain that idli, oh idli kamaha, oh gentlemen who are desirous of idli, you have to perform all that is necessary to get a idli out of dough. So, between the knowledge and the phalam, knowledge of the karma, and the phalam is that particular loka, there is a necessity of karma in between. Therefore, he says, Tani acharatha, may you perform that. Even not knowing karma is not going to produce phalam. But even chanting it out aloud also will not bring that phalam. Chanting itself as a punyam. Chanting will give you vak shuddhi, samanta shuddhi, etc. But then it cannot fructify into karma phalam there. Because that karma phala, to gain the karma phala, that mantras have to be employed in a given karma at a given time, at a given oblations. And having known that one has to actually perform the karma, then karma phala will satyakama. Dani karmani acharata. May you perform those actions. We'll see this more tomorrow. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.